Yo, 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 what's up, Snake Nation? Yo, what's up, 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 what's up? Hey, we definitely in the building, we definitely in the place, man. How everybody doing today? Hope y'all ready to get ready. Hope y'all ready to get ready. But no, we gonna get in on some good stuff tonight, man. Yo, I don't know if you guys checked out the last video. If you guys checked out the last video, make sure if you didn't check out the last video, we said we were gonna go over this book right here. You know, let that get into focus. Tax-free wealth. Let me not block the author and everything. You know, and man, oh man, we dissected this book. Honestly, Snake Nation, I was prepared to have the whole book read by this time, but you know, I made it to. It was so good, man. It's so much meat in here, and I mean, I've been in business for over the past 12 years, to be honest with you, and throughout my trials and tribulations, I did notice one thing, and that one thing is, while being in business, I did understand that there are different tax breaks and different advantages about being in business. And the reason why we wanted to start it off the last conversation the last time, you know, to show you guys that unfortunately, you know, when you in the four quadrants, unfortunately, it's not set up for you to win. You know, if you on the left side of the quadrant, and remember, we're gonna dive back into that. But I hope y'all ready to you know, flow, Snake Nation. I hope y'all ready to go. So let's get that intro in, and then we're gonna be on our way to the top, though. Yo, shout out, Sean. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is a little bit of reflection. I know you guys can hear me. Now I forgot I turned the mic off. But it's like I said, we have the four different money quadrants. So the four different money quadrants that we have is, we have on the left hand side, we have E, which stands for employed. S stands for self-employed. B stands for business owner. I stands for investment. Like I said, we're just gonna read, you know, go over this. Let's see. Thank you, yo. Shout out to Sean. Yeah, yeah. Can you guys hear me now? All right, all right. Shout out to Sean, Shauna. Shout out to Shauna. You know, definitely shout out to Shauna. So, all right. So we back at it. So, like I said, we have four different money quadrants, and the four different money quadrants is the four different ways we can make money. Which we're gonna kind of start over since we can't hear you. So this is the only way you can make money in the United States of America. These are the four ways to make money. The first way is employed. Second way is self-employed. Third way is business owner, which means I want to kind of knock that out of there, which means own a system. Because remember, we discussed that in the last video. And if you don't know what that is, remember, go back to the video. You can watch that in the last video. It's definitely in this playlist. So definitely go back to that before you come to this one. And then we have I, which is an investor. So it's not just making money. You know, the key is also saving our money. And, you know, reading this book, you know, see, being in business for so long, I kind of became, you know, kind of numb to numb to the working world, you know, and everything. So, you know, being in business, I'm gonna tell you guys the secret on how Donald Trump was able to make millions of dollars and only pay only $750 in taxes. You know, I mean, legitimately make, you know, millions of dollars and be able to get a tax return. And then I'm going to show you examples of companies right now today, and just in this past, you know, this past debate when Bernie Sanders was talking about, you know, companies getting tax breaks when they was talking about the $2,000 stimulus checks for everybody. You know, shout out, yo, I seen what happened in Georgia, and let me just say today that, you know, the events that happened today, you know, I do not condone any violence what happened today. I know Trump is definitely on our you know, on our thumbnail on this picture, but I just want to let you guys know I don't condone any violence whatsoever. No violence whatsoever. So you know, fortunately we stay in the United States of America where there's a way to, you know, go back, you know, go the, you know, there's a way to do things, and just not to say protesting is protesting and rioting is rioting. So I'm just saying that. So I just wanted to clear the air with that. But let's get back to making this money. So the key thing is 25 to 35% of all your money that you earn right now, Snake Nation, goes towards one thing. And that one thing is Uncle Sam. You know? So the craziest thing is, yeah, definitely RIP to the lady that lost her life too as well. But the craziest thing is 21 to 35% of every dollar that is earned is going to go to some form of tax. It's going to go to our Uncle Sam, right? So I remember I shout out low key in the building, because I remember she asked the question last video, you know, and she was saying like, what can we do, you know, to make money and everything. And the key thing is, the number one thing that you think you guys could do right now, Snake Nation, to make money is to change your tax bracket. And I'm gonna say that because if 21 to 35% of all the money you earn right now goes to taxes, don't it make sense to see if we can shelter some of that money, you know? And the craziest thing is, taxes often steal people's dreams and retirement. So tax-free explains, this book is so great because it explains how you can leverage taxes. First off, let's defeat the number one thing. The number one thing that people have about taxes is people are scared of taxes, Snake Nation. And they scared of taxes. They scared of old Uncle Sam. But I'm gonna discuss something today with you guys, Snake Nation, and I hope you guys understand, you know, the reason why we supposed to be saving money on taxes, and the reason why we supposed to definitely be winning in the tax game, you know. And the key thing is, Snake Nation, is if you look up the tax code right now, right? Like Snake Nation, I'm a, you know, like I said, we live right now, right? And we unscripted, right? So we live and we unscripted. But what I'm gonna do for y'all, Snake Nation, is I'm gonna go to Google, right? And I'm gonna look up 95%, right? Check this out, Snake Nation. This is why we supposed to win and save money in the taxes, right? 95% of all tax laws are about saving, you know, saving money. So the key thing is, Snake Nation, the tax codes in the United States, over 95% of the tax code isn't intended to not raise taxes, but rather stimulate the economy, agriculture, and energy activities. In fact, the tax law is a roadmap or code to a vast amount of wealth. So I want you guys to think about this, right? We're going to talk about the simple tax credits, right? And then we're going to talk about the reason why the rich get rich and the poor get poor, right? And I'm going to give you guys a couple scenarios today. And I'm going to show you guys a couple concepts today about how you can lower your tax bracket and lower your tax code, so that way you can shelter some of your money, you know. And that's the key thing, is about sheltering your money, you know. So once again, like I said, we're gonna go back through the 4 basic quadrants to making money, you know, E, S, B, I. And we're gonna talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of, you know, being an employee, you know, and being taxed and everything. So remember, when you're an employee, right, when you have a job, you get a check. Before you get your check, you got people with their hands in your check. So that means before you even touch your money, right, you already getting taxed. You already getting Social Security taken out. You already getting Medicare taken out. You getting your health insurance taken out. And the craziest thing is, you get left with the rest of the money, right? And then, you know, oh, you got federal taxes, and then you got state taxes. We forgot those, you know. And then at the end of the year, old Uncle Sam say, you know what? Since you paid so much in taxes, we gonna give you a refund. So that happens if you're an employee, you know, right? And usually your tax, you know, in 2018, let me see, in 2018, just bring out statistics, go real quick. So in 2018, if your income was, let's see, I'm gonna bring that up for you guys. I want to use accurate numbers with you guys. Just look it up on Google. Let's see the tax bracket per tax bracket. Bracket 2019. All right, so I'm gonna bring up the tax bracket for 2019. And Snake Nation, the reason why I want to show you guys this today is I want to show you guys how you're losing money. So the United States in 2019 tax bracket was this right here. If you made anywhere between, you know, unmarried individuals, you know, made anywhere between $9,000 and $39,000, you were taxed at a 12% bracket. You know, married individuals, $19,000 to $78,000. And you guys see the numbers right there from the 2019, tax bracket, right? So that means the more you make, the more you're penalized, you know, having a job. And the craziest thing is, let's go back to our paper, right? The craziest thing is this, Snake Nation. If, say for instance, using that same information, right, we're gonna bring that back up. Say for instance, I like to use simple numbers, right? Let's say 100K. Say for instance, I made $100,000 last year, right? Well, that will let me know I easily jump into the 24% tax bracket, right? So that means I'm already gonna get 24% of my money taken out. So that means my company is gonna say, hey, we're gonna pay you $100,000 this year, and then we're gonna take, and then Uncle Sam say, you know what? We're gonna get 24% of that money. So the average person, right? The average work day, when you go to work tomorrow, Snake Nation, I want you to think about your first 2 hours, because we talking about, you know, 24%. That's almost 1/4. That's almost 1/4, Snake Nation, right? So 1/4 of your day, every single day, is devoted to taxes. And I'm gonna repeat that, Snake Nation. If you work an 8-hour day, 2 hours of that go towards your taxes. Matter of fact, Snake Nation, the average working class American works 4 months off the year. Yo, there we go, Snake Nation. We should be good. We should be good. Yeah, we definitely should be good, Snake. All right, Snake Nation, we definitely should be back. We should be good now. We should definitely be good. Yo, I told you the internet company be throttling, man. I told you, man, they be trying to get your boy, man. You know, so make sure you guys refresh and join back up. You know, we definitely back, Snake Nation. We definitely back. So, like I was saying, because I want to make sure you guys hear this information good. You know, I want to make sure you guys definitely, you know, don't hear this information. So once again, just recap. Remember, if you were an employee, right, making $100,000 last year, right, your taxable income would have been 24%, which means you would have paid $24,000 as an employee. All right, as a self-employed independent contractor, you make $100,000. Your taxable rate is 15.3%. You pay $15,300 for every, $100,000 that you make, right? So now I'm gonna talk to you guys about deductions that you get as a business owner. So remember, if you own a business, if you got a job, right, what happens is before you get your check, like we said, everybody got their hands in your check. But when you own a business, the IRS is actually your friends. You actually partner with the IRS, and the IRS say, you know what, since you're gonna help stimulate the economy and help employ people, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you tax breaks. So we're gonna give you tax breaks, and if you can show us that you put this money back into your business, right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a tax break and we're gonna give you a refund, right? So the craziest thing is 2018, right? 2018 Amazon profit, right, was about $232 billion that Amazon made in 2018, right? So the craziest thing is 2018 Amazon's tax refund in 2018, right? I want you guys to check this out. In 2018, Amazon posted an income more than $11 billion. The company paid $0 in federal tax. In fact, thanks to tax credits and deduction, Amazon actually received a tax refund credit of $129 million. That was at the year after they received $137 million tax return in 2007. I don't want you guys to get mad, Snake Nation, because the information I'm gonna share with you today, guys, the information that you guys gonna get today is gonna be a little bit unraveling, right? But the key thing is, Snake Nation, is with this information is if you change your facts, you can change your tax. So the craziest thing is Donald Trump paid more money in taxes than Amazon. So when Donald Trump came on TV and he was saying, I don't understand why you guys think this is a bad thing. Who wants to pay taxes? Nobody wants to pay taxes. He was looking at everybody like they was crazy, because at the end of the day, If you don't understand, see, the rules of the money game will kill you financially if you don't know the rules of the money game. And the number one rule to the money game is, how can you talk about building wealth if a quarter of your money already goes towards, a quarter of your money that you already make already goes towards somebody else? But if you can shelter your money and learn how to shelter your money and be like a Donald Trump or a, Amazon, which is a better, example, you can be able to profit and make money and then still be able to get a good tax return, guys. So just remember that Amazon made more than, I just want you to think about this. If Amazon, we're gonna talk about that. It's not just about sheltering your money. It's about, everything I discuss. I'm not a CPA, guys. Everything I discuss, you want to discuss it with your CPA, because everybody's situation is different. So I can only talk about what you can do. And I highly recommend getting this book, guys. Highly recommend. It is so, I usually go through books in 1 or 2 days. And Snake Nation, this one has been so much to digest. I've been having to take time throughout my day and say, hold on, this is so good, because you can actually make money. You can actually own a business and then do what the government wants you to do and make money off of taxes and never pay taxes. There is a way that you can literally, legally never pay taxes and still get a tax return. If Amazon can make $11 billion and still get $137 million tax return, why are you, who owns a business who only profits $500,000 or $1 million a year, a small business, cannot pay no taxes either? The book is Tax-Free Wealth by Thomas Will Wright. Great book. But we're gonna dissect this, Snake Nation. You guys definitely want to get the book. So, all right, hold on. So the craziest thing is, if 95% of the tax code, right, was 95% of the tax code was written to not raise taxes. 95% tax code to not raise taxes. Check this out, Snake Nation. Check this out, Snake Nation. And I don't want to get politics and everything, but 95% of the tax code was written for, I forgot the percent, my bad, Snake Nation. To not raise tax. So I'm gonna get the tax codes and everything shortly and everything. So 95% of the tax codes was written for you not to first, Snake Nation, let's dissect why the tax codes was written and what the tax codes are used for, and then we can understand that it's actually our patriotic duty to pay less, to become super payers in taxes. And when I say super payers in taxes, I mean business owners are super payers in taxes, right? With their business, but they get tax deductions on their personal side. And I'm gonna explain that for you. I'm gonna make that all make sense for you guys, right? So first, identify, why is taxes made? Taxes was originally made to stimulate the economy, agriculture, and energy activity, excuse me, guys. You know, so understand that the tax code is just to help stimulate the government. And what happens is, if you make your light bill, no, don't make your light bill high. But what happens is, if you use the tax code in your way, and what I mean in your way, in a way that can help you lower your taxes, and then I mean in the way that the United States government wants you to use it, well, what happens is you can lower your taxes a whole lot. And the reason why you want to lower your tax, because let's just talk about, you know, what can happen if you change your tax, if you just change the facts, right? Let's say I want you to talk about including in strategy, tax strategy number 1 in the book. It talks about including tax planning as your wealth strategy, right? And what it says is, let's say you purchase a rental property, right, for $500K, you know, and we understand, first of all, if we don't understand the leverage of real estate, we're gonna have a whole discussion on the leverage of real estate and how you can win in a real estate game, and how you can leverage money. And real estate is the only place that you can take a little bit of money and turn it to a lot of money quickly, you know. And real estate is the most secured investment in the world, you know, in my opinion, you know. So let's say, for instance, you bought a $500,000 house. You use $100K, and this is what we talk about leverage with real estate. Use $100K of your own money, right? And then you got a mortgage with $400,000 of the bank's money, right? So suppose the annual return on that investment is 7%, right? So then suppose you make a similar investment into the stock market. This is the difference between tax sheltering. So this is real estate, right? You get a 7%. And then let's say you did the same thing, right, in the stock market, right? You know, so you did that same 100K into the stock market, right? And then let's say the market returns you 10%. So this does the stock market do. They return you 10%. Stock market give you 10%. Real estate give you 7%. You know. So the key thing is, let's clear the board. Which one would you guys think would have been the best investment? The real estate investment that gave you an annual rate of return of 7%? That's real estate, right? Or the stock investment that gave you an annual rate of return of 10%? A lot of people will say, of course, the stock, because it's a higher percentage, right? But not so fast, right? That 10% return from the stock market, right, gets you $10,000 before taxes, right? You know, before Uncle Sam get his hand in the pot, right? And then what happens is you have to pay capital gains tax of about 20%. So counting both federal and state tax, leaving you with an after, you know, tax return of $8,000, right? Now the real estate return that was 7% over here, right? Before tax return was $7,000, right? Still $7,000 is less than the $8,000 right here, right? But still, that's after your tax return, you know. So on real estate, right, you don't just get tax-free cash flow. It actually reduces your taxes in your salary, your business, your income. Where the positive cash flow of $7,000 and the depreciation is deducted which is about $27,000, and it gives you a tax deduction against your income of $20,000, right? And I'm gonna write this all down so you guys can understand. So 27,000 minus 7,000 offset the income loss. So that additional $20,000 in deduction against your income is worth $6,000 to reduce your taxes in a typical 30% ordinary tax bracket, right? So the reason how I can explain all that to you guys, because I know I probably lost you guys. Just stay with me, Snake Nation. Stay with me. I'm gonna write it all down because I know the dullest pen contain more than the sharpest. The dullest pencils contain more than the sharpest mind, man. So in real estate, right, you get what's called deductions, right? And you get to deduct when you buy a real estate property. You're not just buying that property, right, Snake Nation? What you're doing is you're buying that property, you're buying that land, and you're buying the contents that's in that property. And what happens is you get depreciation, annual depreciation, right? Because everything depreciate. But what happens is we don't write off the depreciation. We only write off the depreciation of the land. But you have the you only write off the depreciation of the building, but you have depreciation of the land, we have depreciation of the building, and we also have depreciation of the stuff that's inside of there. So say for instance, right, if I bought a building, you know, to house, let's say I wanted to house a factory. You know, I wanted to open up a factory where we made toys, you know, a factory where we made toys. I called it a Little Santa Shop, right? And what happens is I buy a building. I go out and I leverage, you know, real estate, and I buy that building for $100,000, right? So I buy that building, is worth $500,000, but I put $100,000 down. You know, that's the down payment. Get the building. The building's worth $500,000, right? So once again, using that same scenario, right? So say for instance, the annual depreciation on, let's see, the annual depreciation on real estate. Let's look that up. And the cool thing about all this is you can look all this up. Annual depreciation. Hold on, Snake Nation. Annual depreciation of real estate. So the annual depreciation of real estate is 3.36 for each year for 27 years. Okay, so that means each year you can write off and offset your taxes for depreciation on the value of, you know, 3.36. So if we do a formula, right, and the key thing is all you got to do is just simple formulas, right? The place is worth what? We say 500,000. So hold on, we're gonna bring up a new tab. So $500,000, right? 500,000 comma 500,000 divided by 3.633. 36, excuse me. I thought that was gonna do the calculation for us. Maybe we should put calculator. Here, I'll just pull up this calculator real quick. Hold on. Stagnation. Get accurate numbers. So we got 500K. Y'all supposed to be in the comments helping me out, guys. 500K divided by 3.636. And divide that by 20. 27 years. It gets you roughly. Yep, it gets you roughly around $7,000. So the depreciation is about $7,000 per annual. All right, so this is how I'm gonna show you guys how to do this, right? So remember, the annual depreciation on a property, right? Oh shit, hold on 1 second, so I can write this down. All right, so let's talk about the depreciation of the building, right? So the depreciation is multiplied by the value of the building. This is the formula right here, right? You have the value of the building, right? Value of building. Value of building and contents. Right? Which is that 600K. That 500,000 plus 100,000. Minus the contents of building. Oops. $100K. Okay. Equals value of building. Oops. Value of building. 500,000. How we get to 500,000, right? All right, so let me clear this real quick. Definitely replay this if you guys need to come back. Hold on 1 second, Snake Nation. Let me put this on the charger real quick. Hold on, Snake Nation. So remember, Snake Nation, we at 500K, right? Because we have the value of the building, which the value of the building was 500,000. That's where we got back to, right? So it's multiplied by the value of the building by the depreciation rate in the U.S. property change. Remember, the depreciation rate was defined by 3.6%, right? So that equals the depreciation of the building. So if you do, my bad, I didn't mean to say divide. I meant to say multiply. So if we do 500,000 multiplied by 3.6%, that gives us 18,000, right? So $18,000 equals the depreciation deduction, right? So the depreciation deduction, if we go back to the going back to talking about the real estate, I know it's a little bit complicated, but bear with me, guys. It's gonna all make sense. Going back to the real estate investments, talking about, remember we invested 500K at 10%, and we invested 500K over here in real estate. Is stock market, stocks, real estate, and that was 500,000. We got a 7% rate of return before taxes. You know, remember we had taxable gain of 20%, right? So that left us, you know what, taxable gain of excuse me, not 500,000. It was actually 100,000, guys. Apologize. It's 100,000. Quick mistake. Because remember, we invested 100,000. It was a $500,000 house, so that's why we was able to write it off. So bear with me. So doing this formula, right? Being able to write off the depreciation, which was giving us 18K, right? So if you plus the $7,000, which was the 7% return that we got from the real estate, plus the 18K that we able to write off, you know, that was 17K. 7K, excuse me, because that's 7% of 100,000 plus the 18K that we able to write off because of deductions and everything. That gives us a bigger tax return opposed to losing money over here and only getting a 7% tax return. You know, are you guys with me? You guys follow me, or you guys want me to explain that a little bit better? Because I can break it down a little bit better. All right, so I guess we good. All right, so the key thing though, guys, is guys. The key thing is definitely guys, I apologize, guys. The key thing is you guys want to definitely well, the key thing is, guys, you want to definitely get the book and definitely dissect, you know, the information about taxes, because you can literally write off real estate and just do what the government want us to do, and literally get back a tax return. But wait, I'm gonna also talk about something that I know a lot about, you know, which is business taxes, right? So fortunately, you know, when you own a business, right, you have two form of taxes. All right, Rob, I'm gonna break it down for you a little bit more. Hold on, we'll break it down. Okay. All right, so depreciation, right? And I'm gonna break it down, and I'm gonna break it down the way that it explains it in the book, and I'm gonna use the example that they used in the book. Depreciation doesn't apply only on regular basis; it applies to invest in real estate investing. You know, so let's just say that you don't want to be a business owner; instead, you want to just invest in real estate. You know, obviously, there's great financial benefits to being a real estate investor. You know, you can buy, honestly, I know this, you can definitely buy, you know, like I was talking to you guys, you can buy property with only 20% down and immediately get equity and leverage, you know, and create more of a net worth. But like I said, we're going to discuss real estate in a later, you know, later, and how to make money in real estate and how to leverage real estate. But, you know, you get to buy property, you know, with the bank's money and get a tenant to pay the rent, and not only make the payments to the bank, but put put a little bit of money in your pocket. And if you buy the real estate at the right, you know, if you're smart and you buy the real estate and do your research, the real estate goes up in value. You know, tax benefits, long-term real estate investment can be equal to an even greater cash flow increase in value and appreciation from your property. You know, so the book gave an example of, you know, of someone, right? And the example that the book gave, I'm gonna use that example to kind of break it down. I'm gonna use their numbers to break it down and talk about how, you know, he was able to help them write money off, you know, with their CPA. And hopefully, Rob, it you know, it kind of break it down better than my analogy, right? So this person they bought a small apartment building, right? And the investment goal was to pay $800,000 for the apartment building and buy his land. His cash flow on apartment building was $12,000 a year after paying the bank and all the expenses. The land was worth $200K, And so the building and the contents are worth 600K. Let's suppose that the 100,000 out of 600,000, the contents is 500,000 for the building. Depreciation on the United States residential property is about 3.6% per year. So that means he get the write-off depreciation about 18,000 and get another $200,000 in depreciation. That because you know the 20% remember each year. That's a total of 38,000. So the way it breaks it down is, the property was 800,000, right? Remember using that formula, the cost of the property, right? So this is cost of property, right? Cost of property minus the value of the land. Value of the land was 200K, and then it equals to the value of the building. This equals to the value of the building. Value of building and the value of the building and contents, the stuff that's in it. So the building and contents. So that equals 600K, right? So the depreciation of the building, right, was 600K. Well, that's the building worth, right? That's the value of the building, right? Because we just roll this number over here, minus the contents of the building, which was 100,000, equals the value of the building. Equals the value of the building, which was 500K. Multiply by the rate of depreciation, which is, remember, 3.6% per annual, right? Equals 18K. And that 18K is the buildings, and this is the buildings depreciation deduction. So that's what you can deduct. So that's the deduction, right? Deduction is 18K. Are you following along with me, Rob, so far? So next, I'm kind of clear this. Make sure y'all screenshot this if y'all ain't already got it, Snake Nation. All right. We left off with 18K, guys. Actually, we could have just brought another page up, to be honest with y'all, Snake Nation. Alright, so let's see. So remember, the contents of the building was 100K. So this is the contents of the building. Remember from the last formula that we had. This is the depreciation. This is how you find the depreciation of the contents in the building. So that means the contents of the building is how much is the value of everything inside your building worth. So that's your AC, so once again, using this scenario, right? This person bought a building for 800,000, right? They bought a building for 800,000. So the value of the land is 200,000, right? So that's, so the value of the land is 200,000 and they bought the building for 800,000. That means the value of the land is 200,000. That means the value of the building is just 600,000. So that's equally, you get the value of your building. So what you do is when you buy land, you actually buy three things. When you buy real estate, you buy three things. You buy the value of the land, right? You buy the value of the building. You buy the land, the building, the contents, the thing that's in the inside, right? So that's the three things that you got, So the value of the land was 600,000, because the whole property was 800,000. Like I said, minus, excuse me, I'm about to confuse. I'm tongue tying myself trying to get you together, Rob. Gosh, man. So the apartment building cost 800,000, right? The value of the land was 200,000. So that means the value of the building was 600,000. Okay, Rob, stay with me. Okay, confusing me now, man. Trying to explain to you. Okay, so how you found out the depreciation of the building? If the building is 600,000, right? The contents of the building, that means everything, once you get an appraisal of everything inside of the building, right? It was 100,000, right? So that equals to the value of the building on it being 500,000. So that 600,000 was the value of the building and the value of the contents in the building, right? So then if you do 500,000, which is the value of your building, the apartment complex in this, example, right? That gives you 18,000. That means I can write off $18,000 on the depreciation of the building side. Because you got three depreciations. You got the depreciation of the building, you got the depreciation of the land, you got the depreciation of the contents, right? You can write off all three, and this is how you maximize your tax return, in real estate. So once again, the depreciation, so the building was the land was worth 200,000. That's how much the land was worth. Land was 200K. The land was 200K. The value of the building was 500,000. So the value of the apartment complex was 500,000, right? And then the value of the contents was in it was 100,000, right? That's inside of the apartment complex, right? That's the heat, the air, and everything. That gives you a total of 800K, right? So the depreciation that I can write off on the building will be 500,000 multiplied times 3.6%. That gives me 18K. So that means I can write off $18,000 a year, for the depreciation of the building. The depreciation of the contents is multiplied by 20%, because you can write off the depreciation of your content by 20%. So that's 20%, right? So 20% times that is equal to 20,000, right? So, excuse me, that's not this. That's the land, guys. My bad. I was supposed to put this down here. So 20%. So the inside, excuse me, you can write off at 20%. So that's your heat, your air conditioning, everything. So that gives you a deduction of, that's 18K. It gives you a deduction of about 20K, right? So just the depreciation on these two alone is 38,000 that you can write off a year, right? So say for instance the cash flow, like we was talking about, was 12K, monthly, right? And then minus 38K, which is the depreciation, right? Bear with my chicken scratch, y'all. That's why I talk to y'all, which equals the total loss, right? Total loss of 26,000, right? So which means that $12,000 cash flow, right, is ate up by this negative $26,000 loss, right? So which means if you take that $12,000, right, and 26,000 multiplied by 40%, which is the tax bracket that this person will be in, equals a potential tax return of $10,400 potential tax return. Now, I broke that down, Rob. If you ain't understand that, you got to replay the video, Rob. You hear me, man? I broke that down, bro. But no, man. I mean, honestly, it's so much to dissect. And the information, the key thing is, guys, like I said, I'm not a CPA. But the key thing is, if you know the information, right, you can then go to your CPA and have the conversation, Rob. You got to come, if you want to get into real estate, this is January, and Snake Nation, this is about planning your financial future, guys. And it's January, so the number one thing we want to talk about is getting into business. That's why we started the first video out with business is the key. And then the next thing is, now that we're in business, guys, we got to make sure that we do the number one thing is we start planning the right way, which means we start planning on our tax structure. We got to make sure we plan the right way, because at the end of the day, it's impossible to win having a job, because you lose tax write-offs. You lose tax write-offs on a day-to-day basis, you know. So, like I said, definitely want you guys to get the book. Definitely want you guys to get the book, and definitely want you guys to dissect the book, and man, and just dive right into it, man. You know, so just understand that the United States only helps two class of people, and those two class of people that they help are business owners and investors. So if you're not a business owner nor an investor, you don't get the financial help, you know. See how technology always be trying to go crazy, guys. So I'm just waiting for this to come up for you guys. You guys liking the information so far, Snake Nation? Alright, let's get this back up for y'all. About to get reloaded up. Thank you, Shauna. But like I said, you want to definitely go to your CPA. And definitely talk to them. But the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is being a business owner and having tax breaks being a business owner. The key thing is, like I said, business owners partner with, you know, the IRS, and you gotta ask, you know, the government gives tax breaks to the people that want to stimulate the economy. And one way to stimulate the economy is, you know, create more jobs, or create jobs, or provide affordable housing. Affordable house. So those are the two goals. Look at the government ones, right? So who creates more jobs and provides affordable housing? Well, the person who creates more jobs are what? Entrepreneurs, right? I apologize for my chicken scratch, y'all. And the government wants to provide affordable housing. Who provide affordable housing? Well, real estate investors. So what happens is they receive tax breaks by doing both of them. So, Snake Nation, I know you guys ain't just here to hear about other people and how other people are doing it. I'm here to tell you guys that you guys can do one of these two things. Because in order to change your bracket, you got to change. In order to change your tax, you got to change your facts. And that's the truth. So the key thing is, if I understand that I can get tax breaks if I create jobs or provide, affordable housing, well, I can create jobs by providing myself a job. I can create a job by providing my family a job. I can create a job by providing anybody, a job, right? And because I provided a job, I stimulated the economy. I did the patriotic thing. I became a super taxpayer. I got tax breaks. And because I got tax breaks, I was able to get back a bigger return. So you're going to pay money into payroll taxes, right? But you're going to get it back on the back end from all your loss. Because even as you pay your employees, remember your employees are a liability. They are a loss to your corporation. So do understand that if you create jobs, right? Let's just talk about an easy system, right? Let's just talk about a simple business, right? Because Snake Nation, y'all said y'all want to come here to get wealthy, right? So first of all, if we change our tax bracket, and we understand, especially now in 2020, all the United States government wants to do is get people off of unemployment and create more jobs. That's all they want to do right now. I promise you, the United States government prime concern right now is creating more jobs. So if you become a job creator this year, right, you're going to get a heck of a tax break. It's a no-brainer. So what happens is you open up a business, right? And Snake Nation, I'm not telling you to open up a business just so you can have some extra savings on your taxes. What I'm telling you is your business has to make money. So I'm quite sure it's something that you can do to make money, to be able to change your tax bracket so that way that you can have more write-offs, so that way you can keep more of your money, So the key thing is, if I have a business, right, and say for instance, it's me, and I have a son that is 18 years old, and I have parents that I have great grandparents, let's just say great grandparents that are, we can say parents. I have parents that's in their 60s. They're retired, really. Income is low. What happens is, say for instance, my corporation, right, revenue 200K. And I needed to write some of that money off, right? Well, part of writing that money off is identifying that employees are write-offs. So you have to go to salary.com, right? So say for instance, if I had, let's say a human resource company. Yeah, I'll say we had a human resource company. We did payroll, right? So what we can do is we can go to salary.com, right? Let's see, I'm gonna type it up. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Salary.com. So salary.com, and then we talking about you know, people who do payroll, HR, right? Human resources, human resource. I put the location. Let's go back. Let's say we in Ohio. Ohio, Illinois. Dang, they want you to put the exact city. We in Dayton. Okay, we in Dayton, Ohio. I say we in Dayton, Ohio, and we talking about somebody in the HR department, human resource. They should be able to figure it out from there. Human resource management. But that's an ad. They gonna make us spell it all the way out. Snake Nation. Yo, Snake Nation. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm spelling the worst in the world. But that's all good. So Director of Human Resources Information System. Bam. So view salary and benefits. So the average salary for somebody that's in Director of Human Resources Information System in Dayton, Ohio, it's about $138,000, right? So let's go back to our. No, y'all like the Deadpool. So let's go back. So the business revenue, $200,000, right, for human resources. Out of that $200,000, I paid myself $138K. So that means I take that business revenue from 200,000 minus 138,000. Let's see, Snake Nation. That's gonna be 200 pretty much minus 138. They give us 62. So that means we got $62,000 that was left over. Well, if we employ our son, we pay him, $30K a year. And let's just say, for instance, he's our office secretary. That then takes our income down to $32,000, right, for the business. Because remember, business profit, and then we minus my money I paid myself, $138,000, and left us with $62,000. And then we minus $30,000 what I paid my son. That leaves us with $32,000. So then we come in and we divide my parents up, and we still keep them at low income. We give them $16K a piece. We was able to write off the whole $2,000. So the whole $2,000 was able to be written off, for the business, right? And we written off by the income. So also, if we come into the fact and we start talking about what is deductible from a business, almost everything is deductible from a business, right? And the key thing to understand is you can deduct almost anything. The key thing that I love what this book says, taxes aren't fair to the average taxpayer. Just who is the average taxpayer? The average taxpayer has a job, a family, a mortgage, or a rent. The average taxpayer has little to no financial education. The average taxpayer gets his advice from CNN and H&R Block. The average taxpayer is only available tax benefits is the standard deduction or a few itemized deductions, such as home mortgage, insurance, and charitable contributions. Oh, and such of course of a 401k, IRA, and you know, if you're in Canada or in you know, another country, RRSP, you know, in Canada, you know, the reality is the average taxpayer has average tax benefits. Average taxpayers come from time to time, you know, asking, you know, this guy for advice. The average taxpayer, you know, he say his answer to the average taxpayer is that as long as they're living the way that the average taxpayers live, there's nothing that he can do for them. The solution is stop being average. Instead, become an average or a super taxpayer. And that's all we've been talking about, Snake Nation. Start doing what Congress want us to do and stimulate and contribute more to the economy. The good news is the more we contribute to the economy, the more we get deductions, right? As a business owner, if I employ my son and I go take my son, you know, out to eat, and we talk about business while we're out to eat, that meal was now just deducted. If I have a vehicle that I use for primary business purposes, that vehicle is deducted from my taxes. And like I said, guys, I want you guys to definitely get in contact with your local CPA. But this is just about, you don't, as a business owner, remember, it's just about owning a system. And you don't have to be an expert on everything, you know, because that's not what you're here to do. You don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Remember, your primary goal is to continue to make money for your corporation. You want to be able to buy this book, read this book, so that way you can look at it and see how can it help your money. And then you need to go to your CPA or whoever, you know, you got doing your taxes and everything, and then get them this book as well. And then you need to say that they need to read this book as well, or they're not going to be your CPA anymore. Because, Snake Nation, it doesn't make sense to leave money on the table, y'all. I don't want y'all to leave no money on the table. I honestly didn't left money on the table too, and I'm going back to get my money on the table, you know. So the key thing is, Snake Nation, let's not leave no money on the table. So how did Donald Trump be able to only pay $750,000 in taxes? How was Donald Trump able to do that? The real question we should be asking is, why we not doing this, and why Amazon was able to do this? So, Snake Nation, I hope that you guys understand that knowledge is the power. Excuse me, not knowledge is the power. Applied knowledge is the power. Again, Snake Nation. Because it's not just about us getting the knowledge, it's about us applying the knowledge. So it is possible to legally pay no taxes and still get a tax return and still profit and make not just some money, but how about 11 billion? So you guys know my motto: God first. Oh, we gotta get down here. Let's get the mic out the way. Y'all know my motto: God first, family second, business third. Peace.